But I was a daydreamer a lot. I talked about this a little bit on a previous podcast, but not too much in depth.
Mm-hmm.
I would daydream. This is going to be so funny and silly. I would daydream about a girl I would like in middle school. High school, not so much. Elementary, for sure. I started liking girls really young. And so, but I remember.
How old?
I don't even know.
3? Just kidding.
Oh, yes. Yeah. She was horny
Toddler.
little 3-year-old running around. No, young.
They say puberty actually starts when you're 6 years old.
I believe that I liked people younger, but I didn't know. Like I remember having a crush on a girl when I was 4 or 5, or at least young.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the way that I would have a crush on you.
Aww.
Oh, it's not bad. No, it just wasn't it was innocent. It wasn't that way.
Yeah.
Anyways, you're throwing me off my point.
Sorry.
Here. What was my point anyways?
Your point was
the
you
daydreaming.
daydreaming about all these girls.
I knew I had terrible self-esteem. I wasn't daydreaming about all these girls. You're like, those whores? You're daydreaming about whores? Babe, I was 10. And they would,
jealous.
I would meet, let's say, and I'll go with middle school, but this also for sure happened in elementary school. There's always, more so in middle school or in elementary, it was the two popular people, in my opinion. This is how it was. In middle school, it was the two popular people, and then there was also kind of popular people. And in high school, there was definitely, because it gets so much bigger, it was popular cliques. Mm-hmm. And then maybe there is a popular person in the whole school, but I didn't feel that way in high school. In middle school, though, and in elementary, I would find myself liking a girl. And it wasn't always the popular girl. Sometimes it was just a girl that was more popular than me. And I would daydream about how good I would treat them. Not in a sexual way at all. I would just be I don't get, how there'd be drama, right? And I'll make up names like Kelly and Dave. Kelly and Dave are dating, and I really like Kelly. And Dave isn't so nice. He's kind of he hangs out with his boys and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm why does he do that? She deserves so much more. She'd be my best friend, and I would climb a mountain to get something for her and bring it down. I was just it was an emotional, dramatic kid.
Would you actually picture it in your head?
I would picture me instead of that person.
Oh, okay.
Which I think wasn't healthy. It's definitely.
Well, I mean, I think it's when you're that young, it's okay.
But I would picture me as them, I looked like them, but it was me.
Yeah.
But it was me in their body almost.
Did you ever get pictures and cut out the guy's head and put your head on?
That would be hilarious. I wish I did, because that would make the story so much better. No,
that would have been cool.
It wasn't psychotic. But here's the thing. What would you do if this is the point in our relationship where you're oh.
I'm oh dear.
Oh, this is who I'm dating. No, I wouldn't do that, but I would want to. Hold on, let me say that. I didn't say that right. I would want to God, I don't even know where I'm going with this story. All right, here's how I look.
Have Will Palmer blushing?
Here's how I look at it. Is back then when I was doing all this, it felt normal. It felt like the right thing to do. It didn't feel creepy. Do you ever see shows where someone's really creepy?
Like you?
Yes, like this one, like this podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Have you ever seen a show where they're really creepy and they don't even know they're creepy? And sometimes they're adults. They're 40 years old.
Yeah.
And you're oh, they think it's okay to say these things because they don't know. I always wonder how do they get to that point? They're so old. You know what I mean? Where did this all start? I think it starts kind of how it started with me.
Yeah. Because
mine was innocent and I didn't do, some people probably would, right? There's kids in this world that take it so far that maybe follow them home. That's how all that stalker stuff happens, right? But when I look back on it, I think that's how it starts, is being unpopular, being unwanted, feeling inadequate, seeing someone who is popular, who does have the girl, who is adequate and isn't doing certain things well, and you daydream. And I think, and I've read some things where it says people that overly daydream, it's not good for your health, to do that, to be lost in your head. You need to be present, right? You need to have a good imagination, which I for sure had, but you can't be doing stuff like that. And so as I grew in life, right, and life took me places, I grew away from that, and I grew more confident, and that was never an issue past high school, right?
Yeah.
But I do look back, if I'm being honest and vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
By even talking about it, I think that's how it starts. And it starts from just this weird kid feeling a certain way. So all those people that you see that are, some of them are murderers, some of them have done terrible things, some of them are not any of those things, they're just awkward. It all started from these kids, I think, that just weren't treated like certain people, and so they created these other worlds where what they are doing is normal. And as someone who grew up bad, I think it's important that I recognize that and talk about it, because I think that is where it starts. It's an incentive and a reminder for people to treat other people kindly, even if you don't get them. You know what I mean? Even if you don't understand them, like try to include them and stuff.
Do you think it's kind of like proper socialization when kids are young? Like that's what's important?
What would you count as proper socialization? What are you asking, I guess?
I guess like sometimes people struggle when they're younger to socialize. And when you're younger, like you can have like, you know, like therapists or like, you know, things like that in school where like maybe they have a condition that causes them to have trouble like socializing, or like even a condition. I know autism is one of them. Do you think that might be like something that people should probably put more emphasis on in the school system, is making sure that, you know, everybody's understood more, and that, you know, when they have trouble being uncomfortable, that instead of being looked at as weird, they're able to be more social and able to feel more accepted.
Are you asking me if I think counseling is a solution to that? If more of that, like supervision?
Well, that, and I guess counseling, but more so like in like elementary school, like now, like they have like speech therapy, they have occupational therapy, they have like therapies in school to help with certain behavioral therapy. And now I think they're focusing a little bit more on socialization, but I don't think the emphasis is really there. I wonder if kind of adding that would be something that would be helpful for kids too.
I think it would. I think there's some of that stuff. There was kids that went to my school that were autistic. There was the special needs class. Did you have that and stuff? Those kids were super cool, by the way. The weird thing is those kids were a little protected. I'm not talking about everyone, right? We've seen videos with people that are bullying people that are like obviously like impaired or have some sort of disability or something going on, and it should never happen, right?
Yeah.
So it happens. I remember the special needs class being admired. I think everyone liked them. There was a couple of cool kids, and I won't give out their info, but they were like, one of the kids was autistic, and he would always tell me about the girl he was dating. And he was always dating a different autistic girl, or like a different special needs girl.
That was diagnosed with autism?
Yeah. Well, the autistic, right?
I think that's how you... Well,
yeah.
I think it's...
That's like saying someone that is an alcoholic or is someone that abuses substance abuse disorders. So yeah, we're not like, I'm not trying to be like scientific or anything, but yeah. Well, this person referred to themselves as autistic. That's why I'm saying this. Yeah. And he was proud of it. No one else cared. He would date a different person in the special needs class, and he would always tell, I don't know if he was really dating them, but he would tell me like, yeah, I got Sarah and I got this girl, and never mind, I'm over her. I'm with Sabrina now. Like
really?
I'm thinking about dating both those girls. And even the other kids that were outside of that class were super nice to them. My point was that there's the side that I almost feel like the smelly kid or the weird kid or the socially awkward kid is treated worse because they don't know, right? People think like, well, we'll get it together. Get it together. Why are you acting like this? As opposed to something that's a little more obvious, I think people tend to respect it a little bit more, at least where I went to school.
Yeah, and I think even like back then for us, now I think it might be different, but like ADD and ADHD, like I think at that time we didn't really understand it as much, you know, we like, or teachers maybe didn't understand it was like the troublemaker, the person that's always, you know, like talking in class or that kind of thing, but you know, there was more kind of to it. I think now probably, I'm sure it's different, but I don't know.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that clip, click on this link right over here to subscribe to this clip's channel. Or if you want to view the entire conversation, go ahead and click on this link over here to view the entire podcast. Bet you on the next one, guys.